Verdict was, by the way, to try and cast both semifinals today. I'm going to try and tough it out. I figure, like, in a worst-case scenario, if I did have to tap out because my teeth were bugging me, it'd probably be at the finals, and at that point, would you, like, super care about having to solo it?
No.
Okay, cool. So, we'll do our best, guys. We got a lot of good games ahead of us still. My estimation, this plus 2 best-of-3s and a best-of-5 finish. So we got a bit more StarCraft for you here in the Corsair Cup. Spawning in the bottom left side, we've got the Red Zerg player, one of my favorites, Team Liquid Snute.
In the top right, as the Green Zerg, he is Guru.
Now, Guru just knocked out a Korean. That's pretty impressive in and of itself. But
Sure.
regardless of how good Guru's been doing, Snute's been on a bit of a, like, it's wishy-washy. Like, sometimes this guy actually looks amazing, because he did qualify through our wildcard bracket, by the way, from the loser side. And then sometimes he looks not so amazing lately. I will say, though, it does seem to always come down to him versus a laser. Now, I don't know if that's just his ZvZ or if it's specifically a laser, but I don't know who to hedge my bets on this one. I really don't.
Yeah, I think, wishy-washy, unfortunately, is a good term. Snute does seem to be on the up and up, though, like fixing whatever problems, mental or otherwise, with the, like you said, the qualifier. I think he did okay in the, either in the IAM one or the WCS one, I can't remember.
WCS Shanghai.
But, okay, all right, then that one. So, because he was actually unfortunately getting knocked out in like round 1s and 2s of this cup actually, and that was I think a pretty low point, but seems to be back in action, and I have a good feeling about him versus Guru. Guru did have a bit of a advantage going in the game versus Bilui. First of all, you could all talk about ZVP. That's where I was going with that. I was going to go with Bilui. It's 4 a.m. in Korea, and EU is not the best server, but obviously Guru just in general is a good Zerg. Now, they're not cheesing each other out, but Snute is trying to get away with a really quick third base, which I like. Detox does, it's a medium map, I guess you could say, right? It's not like a Dusk, but it does have that whininess to it that does make it, not the greatest for Ling All-Ins, but I'm more looking towards these overlords and how slowly they're getting to the natural base. In fact, Guru not even going to check the third with this overlord. Is only going to see it with the links. So if there was an early pool, oh yeah, Snute would be in trouble, but there's not.
It's funny, because you made the third, and I think in most other situations, there's a lot of concern about the third because of its double entrances. But the one time would be in ZvZ, yeah, as long as you're not getting like 12 fooled, you're probably fine to take this. 14-14, all in, whatever. Now, Guru's scouting this with the Lings. He's still been droning behind it, but looks like he's going to be making his last drone now as he starts pumping out a lot more Zerglings.
Yeah.
And I think he wants to knock this down from Snute. Now, hopefully Snute, like, he knows who he's playing against. Guru's another one of these just, like, really strong Polish Zerg players. Scouting this base, this has to be like a red flag. The second he saw those 2 Lings come in, I would imagine he at least pops down a couple Banelings. Whether he invested more or not, we'll see. But this right here is one of the problems to Detox we're seeing. There's a lot of distance between your natural and your third, not covered by creep. So even just getting queens over here can be a real chore.
Yeah, but he gets him over here pretty quickly. So he also has his Overlord on top of Guru's third now, so he'll know whether, is Guru really committing to this or not. Because that is the 2 options that you have when you scout a third base as quickly from those Zerg players, trying to all-in them and tear it down, or just kind of conceding, maybe getting a higher drone counts because you scare them with a Ling attack, and just getting a later third. Unfortunately, Snute just prepares against that small attack with a small defense of his own, and looks pretty perfect to set up for the macro game, of which he is actually going for a lair right now, where Guru is going for that Roach-Horn Evolution Chamber.
Do you think we're going to see mutants out of Snute?
I hope so. Detox seems to be a good map for them, and he did see the third was taken. That doesn't always mean that the Zerg player, Guru in this case, is going to go for, macro, because, you don't make the drone, you just make Lings instead. The Lara factory after that, but I think if he can get away with it, it's going to be a lot better, and it looks like he'll be able to get away with Spire.
Well, picks off his Lings, so layer time unfortunately is revealed.
So Guru's actually at this point that's a little concerning, where you know, he had to decide to attack or get the hatchery. He decided to get the hatchery. Now, as he sees the lair timing and probably figures this might be mutas, he's going to have to decide, do I attack and stop the mutas from ever coming out, or do I just prepare to deal with mutas? Unfortunately, that second choice doesn't ever seem to work out well. As much as you get Hydralisk and Spore Crawlers and Queens, it just doesn't matter. The mutas always found a way.
Yeah, right now they do look pretty silly, especially if they get that opportunity. Big shout out to Battery123, just new subbed to the channel. And because we did lose some subscribers, but we've gained some back, you are subscriber 1,105. What the fuck?
That's still a pretty cool number.
That still is stupidly high. Like, I'm very okay with this. There was this point where I was pretty resolved to think that we would never get more than 700 because we just kept bouncing back between 600 and 700 over like 5 months. So this is really cool for us guys. Like, we're still kind of basking in it a little bit. But the roach attack does come. There's no spines. This fourth base, a bit of a decoy. If Guru actually ignores this, then Snoot's kind of okay losing his third. It does put spines, in the natural base, but the gas of the mineral count he's kept it high. He's not panicked to meet a lot more lings yet, so he's got larva for those mutas, and I think he's going to hold this pretty much no problem.
That was an odd attack.
Oh my god!
Because it really wasn't that big of a roach attack.
Hang on,
and
oh my god!
It almost felt like he was hoping Snute would overreact to it as opposed to just making lings. But 18 mutas are actually be able to come out here without any consequence to his economy.
And it's not only that, but he gets a gold base while this goes on. There's just so many, like, oh my god, things going on for Snute right now, where if you're a Snute fan, you're smiling in the way the matchup's turning out, but Guru's a good player. I wouldn't count him out just yet, but this does put him in a very rough spot. That attack he did was meant to at least kill a couple drones. It barely traded with the lings, and even then Snute still came out ahead. And these Spore Crawlers, don't even kid me, guys. Like, these are going to be jokes.
Guru is probably going to lose this game as the mutas do snowball pretty quickly. Now, Snoot's not putting everything into the mutas. He is getting an infestation pit right now as well as 2 evolution chambers, but we'll see what that is for, because that could be for multiple things. You know, we see some people go for Lurker Den right after mutas, but we also have some people try and go up to Hive with Ultralisk Cavern if they think they can get that much time. And, of course, the Ling upgrade is going to be useful because you are going to get Lings, but also for those Ultras. Or even a Greater Spire. The melee upgrades do help them, too. The point is, you do have to keep the Zerg player on the back, Guru on his back foot, and that has just seemed to become a lot easier in Legacy of the Void.
This is freaking annihilation. He's going to kill the Hydralisk then.
Yep.
Really banking on these for anti-air, because Guru didn't do what we sometimes see Zerg do, where you just make a ton of queens. He's got a fair amount of queens in play, don't get me wrong, but it's not enough to stop these mutas. Not the same way that the Hydras would ideally be able to do. So Snute continues to roam around with a lot of map control, and he furthers to this by going to Hive. What makes this so crazy to me, though, is seeing that gold base in action. You would sometimes see a fourth come up, sure, maybe, but in all the Penguin games and some of the other ones we've been casting, that's not how this is played out. So Snute has just been ahead in so many different freaking ways, and again, if you're a Snute fan, smile, guys, because he's looking good. He's probably going to take this first game. It is getting really out of control. Loses the weapon upgrades on this as well. Last few Hydras pop.
He doesn't really need to get the Ultras, but that certainly will be the nail in the coffin when you see, like, 12 Ultras, like, running towards your army, which is going to still be very small for Guru. Like, the one hope for Guru here is to get to a maxed out Roach, Hydra, and Fester army, and then maybe Vipers if you could afford a Hive, but he's not even going to get there. He is going to die to the Ultras before he gets there, probably. These mutas are good, man.
They are. So, while Snute executes his opponent, Nathanius pops by in the chat to grace us on his birthday.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Nathanius! And I know this is normally a meme, guys, but it's actually his birthday, so if you see Nathanius in chat, and you're sub to him, first off, throw some dank memes down, but secondly, make sure to wish him a happy birthday. He's either turning 35 or 23, depending on whether he has a beard or not right now.
Yeah. There are those Ultras. They could charge in without Chitinous Plating and probably do pretty well, but I think waiting for Chitinous Plating is going to solidify the win.
Actually, I really like that choice out of Snute. It seems silly, but because we just cast 5 ZvZs yesterday. 5 best of 5s in a Zerg all group, and we saw a lot of throws. So I like that Snute decides to play this safe, because Guru is not somebody you want to lose to after being in a position like this for the last 6 minutes.
I mean, sometimes we see the defending Zerg player even just tap out, you know, because the mutas, they're not only snowballing, and you're well aware of how they can snowball, but it's just that tilt-inducing factor of, you know the inevitable is coming, but you're still trying. You know that the mutas could snowball, or they could get to the Ultralisk, or they can even go for freaking mass Baneling and do well against you. Like, there is an absurd number of options for people who snowball with mutas, and that's why you usually see people just try and kill them before they get there. But Guru's going to try and stick it into the last. He's got that maxed out army, but the Ultras are ready with upgrades. A couple of Banelings as well that may or may not be fungled, so they might get in the heart of that Hydra line and the Roach line.
I feel like it's such a non-factor going forward here.
Yeah. The mutas, they could try and dive on top of the Infestors. Like, honestly, even if they all popped, the Ultras, man, like, they wouldn't care if they had muted backup or not. But he is just using them to harass the Roaches, get them a little weak before they even attack.
I just realized because of the map control, Guru doesn't even realize that this is the case. Like, this is the first he's going to have eyes on those Ultras. Now, maybe he peeked them, decided to back away, but there's just no situation where I think this goes well for him. Snute's going to run around the map with the Banelings on the south side. He's going to run around the map with the Ultras and Lings on the north side. He's going to be able to pincer in and just catch everything, and these Infestors are not going to save him. He could land the most perfect fungals right now, and it wouldn't even matter. Snute is like totally in A-move territory.
He's being a little careful with his Banelings going up that ramp. He doesn't want them to actually be all fungled on the ramp, block out his Ultras and all pop, of course. But he's even like all of these things are not really concerning. He's such a huge bank.
That's a stupid amount of Spore Crawlers. And funny of like this turtle situation. This is where I really like the Banelings, not to go off on the army, but to kill the Spore Crawlers so the mutas can just go ham.
Yep, that's 62 more Banelings. They're a risky choice knowing that he's going to be going up a ramp against Infestors, but there's also Lurkers, but they're all clumped up and they just burrow.
The Lurkers are actually a great choice for this situation. It's funny how bad Ultras are versus them, and the Sim City from these Spore Crawlers isn't too bad, and Snute is actually going to take a bad fight, believe it or not.
Oh, I believe that he can take a bad fight, but I just don't believe that's going to end the game.
No, I mean, like, the other thing, too, is like there's the 4th base for Snute. It's not the only thing going. He's got a 5th on the way. Guru's not mining off of his 4th, and Snute's going to be able to police that. Guru takes this fight because he is so well rooted into position with a lot of defensive units, but Snute says, you know what, fine. Spore Crawlers, Lurkers, let me just get some Abducts, let me get some Blinding Calls, let me get some Overlord drops, Zombie Grub!
Ooh! So the Lurkers, when they burrowed, they could have been pounced upon by the Banelings, but I think he had like a portion of them still behind, and then the other ones went off to the right. But Baneling dropping on top of the army in general, but also on top of the Lurkers, that would be baller.
I don't think you can do that, because the Spore Crawlers will kill all the Overlords before they get a chance to.
Pick off the Spore Crawlers, the mutas.
Yeah, because that's how that should go. It should be the other way around. But regardless... I mean, I would love to just see him drop in the main, like Terran style, Doom drop with 10 Overlords, Banelings, you name it. But either way,
6 Ultras.
regardless of what he chooses to drop, as long as they get past SimCity, that's what's stopping them. So maybe it's used on the Lurkers, maybe it's used to go around the army. The Banelings actually kill the hatchery, that's hilarious. But it is 5 Ultralists being dropped. The question is, where's he dropping them? And it looks like he's heading to the main, and frankly... he's going to catch that Spire. Ooh, that's nice. Catches a lot of Lurkers unburrowed as well, so the Ultra's just trying to give some love. Give me hugs! No! You reject my love.
Why you do this? Guru's going to have a tough time repositioning this army, which is almost entirely Lurker-based now.
How do they fit in here?
Actually, Ravagers, 6 Ravagers. I don't know.
Like, have you seen the Carbot thing where, like,
it
tries to suck it up?
Egg. Yeah, I did.
Well, the egg actually makes sense, because it's just rapid growth upon hatching, but... inside the Overlords? You're like, damn. It's like octuplets in one.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like how does a woman, like, have octuplets, okay?
Painfully. Alright, so he kills the lair, which is pretty important, which means there's not going to be a hive. He got the Spire sniped already. Comes in here with a lot of the Spore Crawlers out of position. And, again, loses a lot of his ground army, but he is up pretty much double the supply. GG gets called. Ladies and gentlemen, Snute. It's going to take the game 1-0.
Yes. Update on the bracket. BC Cutie had to forfeit.
Oh no.
He had to go out or something like that. So the other semifinals already started because of that. It's going to be Euthermal versus Bly.
Okay, so then the way this will work for us, guys, is we'll finish this best of 3 here. Then we'll go to Euthermal versus Bly. They'll play, like, the winner of this will play the winner of Raynor and Lily Canine. We'll come back to that afterwards, and then we'll have the grand finals. So that should work out pretty nicely. It's loser's pick. What map do we have, madam?
Preon Terraces.
Gold base. Gold base hype. Something Snute actually just got away with, funny enough.
Yep.
Alright, so gonna hop into game whenever they're ready. We'll get this party started. I guess they hosted.
Yeah, Guru hosted, invited me, and then immediately made me host.
Yeah, you think they figured it out at this point. They played enough of our stuff. They're like, whatever. I don't really care. Alright, folks, welcome back. Game number 2. And nobody throwing down that early pull. No one throwing down that early gas. Spawning here on the bottom right side of Preon Terraces, we've got the green Zerg player, Guru.
In the top left as the red Zerg, he is Liquid Snute.
Alright, so just a quick comment here. I know not everybody's complaining about this, but just to address, to make sure you guys know I'm not totally ignorant of the situation. My camera work is a little bit off today. I'm pretty distracted by a lot of pain that's going on in my mouth, which I'm trying to use to talk while we cast and commentate, so my camera work is definitely... I'm distracted, is the TLDR. And it's not always going to be like this. Today's just... I don't know. I woke up today and my mouth was really... Back left... Wisdom Tooth is being a real asshole is what it comes down to, and I'm sorry. I just want to say that I'm sorry. I will try my best to focus more, but it is like twinging pain that's very sudden and annoying. Anubis Shades just subbed for 16 months, though, on a much more positive note, so thank you very much. And of course, you guys are watching the Corsair Cup. I do hope some of you guys will be willing to check out some of the Corsair links we got down below just as we get this game underway. Because this is the last cup we have to submit stats for. Again, as February resolves, they'll be taking a look at the numbers, the viewers for each of the cups, because we tried the European time zone more recently to find more success. We did North American cups, we did Korean cups, you name it. But another part of this that isn't just the viewership statistics. It is also how many people are actually visiting their website and looking at their gear and perusing their beautiful items.
Oh. Yes, and speaking of which, Twisted Death says, Riffy and I bought something from Corsair to help support you guys.
That's awesome.
Well, that's great.
Awesome.
Tweet us a picture when you get it, if you have it.
Yeah, I know one of our mods actually just got one of the new headsets, which is great, because that's, I will say, keyboards and mice, I feel, are very similar, so it's hard to really say, oh, this is so much better because of blank, but the Corsair headsets we're using are legit, like, super legit. I could go on for hours about why these things are so good.
We have a bit of a difference here in the ZvZ, finally. One goes for Roachborn, it's going to be Snutes, and Guru goes for a Baneling Nest. Now, if Snute just uses this to kind of be like defensive and go up to a third base, that's fine. In fact, Guru would start falling behind because the Baneling Nest would be just completely useless, like very tiny behind, right? But yeah, if he used the Baneling Nest to attack, like right now, that might have been dangerous for Snute. But Snute sees a third base and probably realizes he'll be okay defensively.
Even with that in consideration, this is me just kind of going back to our ridiculous Zerg group yesterday. It did feel like the players going Roaches had the advantage in pretty much every game. Now, there was a lot of weird games going on, in fairness, so it's really hard to say that that was the best reference tool. But again, recent ZvZs have shown us Roaches looking better than Lings in most situations. But then again, just looking back to game number 1, Snute dealt with Guru's Roach attack very easily with nice Lings.
Yeah, just a Lings around. Now, there was a concern that Snute might be going for like an all-in. He does throw on his third base, but he might still be looking for an attack. I'm not so sure about that, though, because Guru's getting his own Roach Born pretty quickly, and his Banelings do help him with one thing, and that's if Snute had to reinforce with his own Speedlings, then the Baneling edge would obviously go to Guru, but eventually it's going to be about those... Oh, like that. It's going to be about those Roaches versus Roaches, and that's where Snute could have possibly gotten a lead. Now, he is reinforcing with Lings, and this is where Guru's Banelings would be very helpful, but the Roaches are moving across the map. He needs to get his own. I think Snute's I don't think Snoot's going to find much opportunity here.
No, 10 roaches on the defense here for Guru. Defender's advantage when there's no speed in play is actually a pretty big deal. If he can kill this third, however, this is probably first off the only option for damage, but it's his best case scenario. He does manage to get a surround on that one roach in the mineral line.
Yeah, well, you know.
He's going to get this. There's no way. Like even if he doesn't want to dedicate the roach, he's going to hold the roaches in place.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Zergling force fields, please. Oh, no.
Guru's still fine on the defense for his 2 bases, but yeah, he is going to lose that third, and he should not try and save it. And that's going to put Snoot's third up quicker now. Snoot's banking a lot of minerals as well. He's got a little supply block during that attack. A little unfortunate, but he has a lot of lings. They're going to be able to ensure that a second third base is going to be difficult for Guru to take. Now, can Guru really afford to say, like, oh, I don't really care about that gold base and go for the regular third one? I don't think he can. We see it sometimes in the other matchups and the other races, but I think at ZvZ it would matter like a great deal to have this gold to gold.
So gotta love 69, one of our dedicated subscribers, discovering our new emote, but asking if it's the only one. We have 5 other new emoticons on the way. We're just waiting for them to finish. I did kind of ask if we could rush the gun check one so people could start spamming that pretty much immediately. And with every bank heist, we see that go down. But there are 5 other emotes, which are kind of a secret. You don't know about just yet, but they'll be, as soon as I have them ready and available, we'll get them going on the channel.
Ow.
Yay!
Hurrah! Alright, so Snoot's definitely taking a lead in this game. It's going to be up to Guru to really bring that back. He's going to start by getting a faster upgrade and faster speed, but is definitely behind in that army count. So much so that Snoots, I think, might be just looking to end the game here, which is a little dangerous. You know, he has the gold, but he's not really using it at 32 drones. He does transfer some over.
I was going to say, with the drone count being what it is, the funny situation is if it is a game revolving around just gold bases, Snute actually doesn't need more drones to play a quote-unquote macro game. Because saturation will be that the main mine's out, you transfer most over, boom, income. So choosing to dedicate all to army has given him pretty much double the army supply. 30 lings coming up behind this are going to be the wonderful cannon fodder that he needs. And Guru, even if every single one of these roaches was Ravagers, which he's trying to kind of do, that would actually be worse for this situation. Because those lings are going to get on top of those very squishy units that have a lot of surface area and die real quick.
Yeah. Maybe he could have gone for the supply block with those overlords, which is kind of like a warning shot of Corrosive Biles. He's going to get the third again. And this is like, you know, it's like an all-in here. He's very low on drones. He does not have any upgrades. He never got a lair. If this doesn't work somehow, then Snute would be in trouble. But it's already partially worked just by tearing on the third base. Yeah. And I think he could push up this ramp. It's obviously the worst scenario for him, but...
Actually, the lings are doing wonderful here. They're soaking so many hits. He's got more flooding out behind us. 19 roaches to 13. And Guru is actually mining out in this situation. So killing that third, it's not just good because, like, oh, you're ahead. It's actually game killing because Guru's not going to have that money to keep sustaining all the roaches he needs to keep fighting with. Backed into a corner, and Baby is in a corner. We'll see if he can fight his way out. But despite having more Ravagers on this side of the fight, Snute has more Ravagers overall. Corrosive Bile's going down. Last few are going to pop. Both players taking some pretty bad Corrosive Bile hits. But again, Snoot's the one who snowballed through this, and he's been using them to kill the eggs, so no reinforcement. Yeah, denied! GG!
GG!
This, of course, will win Snute the series 2-0. And this is really good for Snute because, again, we're questioning, like, where's he at now, guys? We don't know. But, congratulations to Snute, as, yeah, he will take that 2-0 and advance on. Now, we are going to swap over to Thermal versus Bly, which I'm probably going to have to wait for. I think Bly's actually in the other tournament, so we're not going to start another best of 3 without them. Actually, we can't either. Lillikini and Raina are currently playing. So, the idea is to go with you Thermal and Bly first, but they might... Sure. Well, I was going to say, they might be waiting. So, I know Lillikini just advanced over Raynar, so we may do Lillikini versus Snute. We're going to find out what we're doing first, guys. And we'll be back in a couple minutes while we sort this. We'll see you soon.